About extramural. This is extramural care. When I think about extramural care, and I said to Trudy, I said, you know, if we privatize extramural, which that's the plan, is to privatize, move extramural out of the public system into the private system, give it to Blue Cross to manage, Medicaid Blue Cross to manage, it's a historic shift. A huge historic shift. Because not only is that, you know, just a transfer in terms of the level of care, but it's a transfer in terms of the kind of decision making. What does that represent in terms of the types of decisions that our legislators, our MLAs are choosing to support, to move a service like extramural over to the private sector? It's a huge group. It's also seen as like the crown jewel. The crown jewel, is there anybody here, when we think about taking a closer look at extramural, is there anybody here that has anything negative to say about extramural? When I think of extramural, I think of people who are efficient. It's not just nurses, it's social workers, OTs, physiotherapists, the dietitians, the efficient, well-managed, focused, very organized. They've been there, they've been working. If of a sector to take over the management of, it would be crazy. Absolutely crazy. In terms of costing, David Kuhn, during the main estimates during the budget, asked Minister Boudreau for what does it currently cost to manage extramural. Minister Boudreau looked to all of the Department of Health reps that were there. They were not able to identify what it currently costs. So why would we be considering transferring that to a private system to take over the management of that service if we don't even know what that cost is now? That could well be, and certainly Irving owns a great deal, and certainly privatizing is not the way to go. The Blue Cross, in terms of when we look at, so one of the questions that the Conservatives raised actually during the main estimates was, well, how is Blue Cross, Medicaid Blue Cross managing the Ambulance New Brunswick now? Ambulance New Brunswick does great work, but is it actually, how much is it costing? Is it the most cost-efficient way to manage that system? Nobody's done an evaluation of it. Nobody's done a comparison of it, so how do we know that? But I do know, when I looked at that, if they charge right now $1.6 million to manage the ambulance service. $1.6 million, and for the last 2 years, they were 3 times over budget. It cost 3 times what they were allocated to manage that system. Is that a system we want for people to actually take over doing? Absolutely not. The other thing is Medicaid Blue Cross. I've heard the minister say, well, it's a not-for-profit. It's a, you know, it's private, but it's a not-for-profit. We know when we go to Blue Cross, it's a private system. It may not look like your usual shareholder system, but it's a private system. With Ambulance New Brunswick, when you look at actually how they actually manage that management, 10% of the revenues that come into that system get siphoned immediately off and go to their foundation. How many of us or how many of you are getting 10% on your revenue? Absolutely not. So is this a system that we want to be doing business with? This is a government who has negotiated contracts with private businesses to not our benefit in the past. And what's your most recent example of this government doing a contract that did not benefit New Brunswickers? Snowplows. Snowplows? Where else? Atcon? Where else? Irving. Who signed that forestry deal? The Conservatives signed that forestry deal, and the Liberals are going for it. it. They're not stepping out of it. Once you sign these deals with the private companies, you are locked in. Ambulance New Brunswick, their past contract with Blue Cross was 10 years. Do we want to lock in a perfectly functioning, very well functioning, managing extramural system for 10 years with a private system? I say no. 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 No means no. And we need democracy. When we think about people who are making these decisions, these kinds of decisions, these are MLAs who are following the leader. They're bought in to that whole system of, I got to do what the leader's doing. That's how the Conservatives, that's how the NDP have been working, the NDP. That's how the Liberals and the Conservatives are working. I say we need a change, and we need that change now. Change now. And we've got broken trust over and over and over. We do not want the private system.
When do we want it?
Now! Absolutely, now. Thank you. And it's not going to save us money. Minister Bruder said it's not going to save us money, but he says it will get better outcomes for the people who most need it. Is extramural, does he think they're working and providing services for people that don't need it? I'm not sure where this fellow is actually living, working. Too much time in the big building. He needs to get out and talk with real people. Yes, absolutely. When the government makes decisions like this, who pays? We do. Absolutely. When they make a bad decision, they sign these contracts. Who pays? You and I as taxpayers, and it's time to stop it right now. And it's time for us to work together, work across where our differences are, but lobby for representatives in the legislature who can speak for us. Speak for us, not follow the leader, not electing sheep, but electing people who are going to actually represent us and find those connections that bring us together. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. You know, in the last year plus that I've been doing this and fighting for the issues, one thing I've met is a lot of good people, a lot of normal people. We're just people. And one of those people that I had the pleasure of meeting was a gentleman by the name of Aaron Allison. Aaron is here because he is a dad and a granddad, and he's come down from the Miramichi this morning, and I'd like to invite him to the mic now. Change of plans. I love that. At this point in time, nope, never mind. He's back.
I had to get this. This is the court document. Oh, let's just see. There's no wood on the Miramichi for Black Bull. Oh my God. I'm here because people on the Miramichi have been crying out for a long time with jobs, and we got the Liberal government. They're trying to do what they do to the Miramichi, which is screw us. And they've always done that. It started back with old Frank McKenna there back in '95 when he forced amalgamation on the people, and every time the Liberals get in power, we lose jobs. Not just 10, 20 jobs, we lose hundreds of jobs. Miramichi Lumber is a small little company that's been around. The Andersons have had it since 1884. You know, they had a fire. The government's going after their insurance check. You know, we can put 140 people to work, help stimulate the economy. What's the problem with that? The government says, yes, you have a wood allotment, but you're not allowed to use that wood allotment. It doesn't make sense.
Irving wants it.
Oh yeah, Irving wants it, you know, but there's, well. So, what can we do about this? And I belong, and I'm co-chair of Membership River and Crisis Committee. So we got together with a group of people, former workers at Membership Lumber, and we decided to do something. We wanted to question our MLAs. The only problem is every time we had a town hall, they never showed up. We had empty chairs. I asked for the Chamber of Commerce to show up. Empty chairs. We asked for the Premier to come, just to tell us why you don't want these men to go back to work. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, they're not asking for money. They're asking for some wood. Irving can get it. The yards are full. You look around all the yards. The government's allowing these guys to scale their own wood. Of course the yards are full. There's nothing left in the woods because they took it all. You know, Blackville Lumber, they don't care. They're going to tax and spend. But it wouldn't be so bad if they knew what they're doing.
No, if they were
Honest to God.
motivated by something besides, they're being told what.
You get on the computer this afternoon, like at 1 o'clock, Lumber Room.
Oh yeah.
Honest to God. I'm telling you, this is some serious stuff. But until we get what we need, and we need MLA recall. We need an ethics commission. Well, I mean, MLA recall is very, very important. I mean, we don't have any, as citizens of New Brunswick, we don't have any protections from abuse of government, and we need that. And until we stand united on those issues, we're never going to get further ahead. We need a lobbyist registration. We don't have a lobbyist registration. We're the only province in Canada that doesn't have a lobbyist registration. You know, that means Irving can get away with doing whatever they want. Okay? I mean, that's just the truth. You know, if we don't, this next election is very, very important. And it doesn't matter who you're with or what party you believe in or anything else. We must say enough is enough. We don't want you spending money, but this is what we want. We want laws put in place. We want the Transparency Act reinstated. We want the Accountability Act reinstated. We want the Taxpayer Protection Act reinstated. They were put there for a reason. But the thing is that, you know, the next government gets in, they'll put it in. If the Liberals get back in, they'll just take it back out again. We're back in the same shit. You know, and who's hurting? Our children, our grandchildren. A lot of us, our kids are moving away. They're taking our grandbabies with us. We have to fly to go see them. And that's wrong. That's wrong.
Broken trust.
Yeah. You know, and then you talk about corruption, because we got a lot of corruption. ACOM. And this paper I've been waiting for, this is signed by Minister Bill Levesque. Now this man is the prime example what is wrong with the New Brunswick government. A lot of people don't know who Bill Levesque is, so I'll give you an update. Bill Levesque was part of ACOM. He was a deputy minister of business when ACOM was going on. In the Ryan report, Justice Ryan said he never seen anybody lie like Bill Levesque. And this guy's a deputy minister. If we get caught lying, we get fired, we get our ass kicked, and this guy's still in government. I mean, go figure. How can he be in government when his integrity's been questioned? It's a breach of trust. He should not be part of DNR. He's the biggest screw up in history. He's screwing the man machine just as bad as the rest of them. You know, this document shows that there's no wood available in the man machine for Blackville Lumber. Well, where's their wood allocation gone? You know, like Bill Levesque doesn't make sense. But he should be fired.
Yeah. It's got to do with integrity. It's got to do with morals. When you get caught lying, he should be fired. But what? The only reason why he's got a job is who's he got something on? Is it old Frank or one of them? Robichaux, you know, he's got to have something on somebody to keep a job. Yeah. So, but the people on the member sheet, I mean, we lost e-bears this year, back in October. There's 40 jobs gone. We lost 87 teachers. We lost 10 in DOT. Now we're losing more teachers. Now we're losing more DOT. But to put 140 people back to work, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't matter if you're liberal, conservative, PAMB, whatever. 140 jobs. And all they need is a stick of wood. And I think that we as New Brunswickers should demand that this company get a stick of wood. Yes, they owe money to the government, but they can't pay it back if you won't give them nothing to work with. They're not asking for money, they're asking for wood. It's our birthright. On the member sheet, it's our birthright. You know, and, you know, Hal Raper's over there, he's a good man. I like him. I like to tease him, but I like him. But it's important that he is working hard to put 140 people. And the spin-off of jobs, well, you know what? That helps buy houses and cars, and it puts groceries on the table, puts a roof over your head. And unless we unite as one and say enough is enough, I think we'll never get ahead. And it doesn't matter what party you're with. Hell, I'd like to see 60 independents run next election, and we can get a government like Nunavik. You know, because the party whip system has killed us.
Absolutely.
You know, accountability, and that's why we're here today. Accountability is so important for the future of our children and our grandbabies.
And transparency. Should be referendums in New Brunswick.
Well, I said referendums, and Chris knows. Chris, you and I talked about referendums for years. I do believe in referendums.
Yes, let the people decide.
You know, extramural, let's hold a referendum on it. Shale gas, let's hold a referendum on it. You know, pipeline, let's hold a referendum on it. Duality, let's hold a referendum on it. Take the power away from them and put it back into the people where it belongs, to the people.
MLA recall. Yes. Power to the people.
MLA recall? Chris, you run with it. I supported that for years. You know, it's important. MLA recall, but the thing is too, you got to look on the other hand because it could be abused as well. Okay, so I can see MLAs. I look at both sides because I like to be fair. There has to be policies put in place. Well, I don't like this guy because he's a PC or an NDP, and we're just going to get rid of him because we don't like that party. No, there's a policy or a law has to be broken in order to implement the MLA recall. And I think that BC has the best policies on MLA recall that are around. It's a good guideline. Could there be some improvements? Yes, there could. And I think that that's what we have to watch for, because we don't want to be like them. Our integrity is without question. And I think that we all have to do that. But like I said, this document was dated March 14th. It's really interesting that there's no wood on the member sheet. That's really interesting. By God, man, I see a lot of trees where I live. I live in rural New Brunswick. I'm just outside the member sheet city limits, so I don't know what this guy's talking about. I think, in all fairness, that we have to stand together, stand united. We formed this group, Unified Front for Protection of New Brunswick, and most people don't realize it's an umbrella group. So if you put all the groups together and you look at who's involved and the other committee members, and, you know, you can put it all together. There's about 15,000. So like here today, but that amount of people and that amount of voters, that can make a difference. If one person stands up for injustice, that's what we need, and we've done that. From St. Stephen's to the Miramichi to Bathurst to Moncton to St. John, we're all united on the common goal.
We need to end corruption in government. And I believe, and I've said this, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Chris about it yet, I believe that we need a royal commission into the corruption of the New Brunswick government.